future is what determines how we understand the present. In a real sense, today is defined by tomorrow. How we interpret our present suffering, our work, our purpose, even our relationships is defined by how we think about what lies ahead. The positive vision provided by the 1939 World's Fair made people reinterpret the meaning and lasting effect of the Great Depression and launched the country forward. But visions of the future can also have the opposite effect. Consider a billboard erected by a Chicago law firm. It simply said, "Life's short. Get a divorce." Buried in the message is a belief about the future. Death is final, and there is no hope beyond the present life. This view of tomorrow also determines how to live today. Maximize your pleasure and abandon the spouse who may be inhibiting it. Today is defined by tomorrow. These examples remind us that whoever shapes our vision of tomorrow wields enormous influence over our lives. The choices we make, the values that guide us, the work we pursue, and the people we become are all shaped by the way we think about the future. Sometimes these influences are positive, offering us a sense of purpose and hope, but they can also be damaging and cause us to be short-sighted and selfish. This is why an accurate understanding of the future is critical, and why every worldview and religion that seeks to influence our behaviors has something to say about tomorrow. Christianity is no exception. From the beginning, Jesus, his apostles, and the church have communicated about the future in both word and symbol. The future is an essential part of our faith and lives, because when we see the future correctly, vision, it not only allows us to transcend our circumstances, hope, but it also shapes how we live in the present, purpose. Tomorrow determines the way we relate to the world today. This has taken on new importance as Christians debate what faithful engagement of our rapidly changing world looks like. Studies are showing that fewer people, particularly the young, are participating in local congregations. Many young adults, including those who describe themselves as committed to the Christian faith, fail to see the relevance of the local church to their lives. I spoke with one frustrated pastor about the difficulty of recruiting younger people to his congregation. I believe his premise is flawed. Most of the young adults I meet are highly committed. They are devoted to their vocations, their communities, and often to social causes. They're just not committed to the things many church leaders would prefer. At a recent Passion Conference for young adults, Louis Giglio captured the animating force of this generation. "The only thing we are afraid of," he said, "is living an insignificant life." So why aren't these young people seeking significance by committing themselves to the church and its mission? I believe part of the explanation is found in the vision of the future presented by much of contemporary institutional Christianity, which leaves no space for a theology of vocation. We have adopted a vision of tomorrow that cannot affirm a Christian's work in the world outside the church. Instead, the message of the church being absorbed by many young people, both explicitly and implicitly, is that ministry is the only labor that really matters in light of eternity. It is a vision that tells young people most of their interests, occupations, and pursuits do not matter to God. It is a vision that says real significance can only be found by contributing time and treasure to the institutional church's work. Young people are not buying it anymore. The fault is not to be found in a generation that won't commit to the church, but in a church that cannot affirm this generation's commitments because of its vision of the future. Younger Christians are increasingly committing themselves to social action on behalf of the poor, trafficked, marginalized, and abused. They sense God's calling to alleviate suffering in the present, but others are questioning the priority and even the legitimacy of such efforts. Is social justice part of Christ's work and central to our Christian calling in the world, or is it a laudable and God-pleasing pursuit that should nonetheless be prioritized?